Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and hot rodders of all ages. So, got this box delivered today. Actually, it was delivered the other day, but we're just now going to open it. And this should be the paint for the chassis and all the suspension work on the T-bucket. So, let's see what we got here. They know how to spoil somebody. Look at there. We got some stickers for the wall. That makes everybody happy. And we got a box inside of a box. Look at there, the rust stops here. KBS coatings. So I did a little research, and the KBS offers a UV protectant chassis paint. You can brush it on, you can roll it on, or you can spray it on. Not 100% sure how we're going to do it yet. We're probably going to brush a bunch of it, but I picked up their kit. Once again, it's from Summit. They do not sponsor me in any way, shape, or form. Let's see what we got here. We got some instructions, some MSD sheets probably, tells you what to do it or how to do everything. Let's see, we got the rust stops here, pre-paint primer. So we'll use some of that. Let's see, what do we got here? Clean, all-purpose cleaner degreaser. That'll come in handy. Oh, I feel like a kid at Christmas time. So paint over rust permanently seals corrosion. We don't have very much corrosion on there, just a little bit of surface rust, which will get cleaned up. But pretty decent little kit. Got some gloves, some stirring sticks, some throwaway paint brushes. And we got some thinner in case you want to spray it. And we got the permanent UV stability. So looks like a pretty good kit. We're going to be using this starting tomorrow to do the chassis. So it's time for going home. I think my wife has supper done for me now. She is a lovely lady that knows how to spoil her man. So I'm going to go home and eat supper, read up on this a little bit, see what all needs to be done, and we're going to start painting tomorrow. All-purpose cleaner and degreaser. That was the first step. Here's my little setup I have. I got a little tent set outside so I don't get my shop all wet with the water. But I've already put the clean on there, scrubbed it really good with a Scotch-Brite, and I just got done rinsing it. So sorry I didn't get any steps on that, but it's pretty simple. You understand that. Keep it wet and spray it, let her sit for a while, spray it again, and then go ahead and rinse it off. So that's where we're at. We're getting ready for the next step, which is the etching. Okay, so this is the second step, the rust blaster, rust stops here. It's a pre-paint primer, if I can get that out of my mouth. So you got this is part of the 3 steps: the clean, the blast, and the seal. This is the blast. So what we're going to do is we're going to blast this or shoot this frame with it. The spots that got a little bit more rust on there where I did some welding and whatnot, I'm going to Scotch-Brite that a little bit, but you need to keep it wet. Something like this, 15-20 minutes, and then go ahead and rinse it off. So I'm going to squirt it, scrub it, and just walk around, squirt it, and keep it wet. And it's pretty simple, as you can see. What that does is it etches the steel. It's got some kind of acid in it probably that etches the steel and allows the paint to get a good tooth on it. Make sure you get underneath everything. All right, I'll spray the rest of this down and we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. All right, so I've gone around, I've sprayed it all with the blaster. I wiped it down. They recommend, well, they tell you in the directions to keep it wet. It's been about 30 minutes. The wind is kicked up. And when I kept it wet, all I did, instead of using a bunch of this by spraying it on the frame and losing it, I just put it on my Scotch-Brite pad and just continued to wipe it down. Make sure you get all the areas that you can, or that you make sure you get all the areas. You know, I just kept wiping it down. It didn't dry really fast with it's about 85 degrees out here outside. Let me start that over. It's about 85 degrees outside with good Midwest humidity. So it's about the max you want to do this in. So once I did that, it's ready just to rinse it off with the garden hose now. So, and you know, that's pretty simple. So I won't bore you with all of that. But I'm gonna rinse it all down real good, and then I'll dry it with the air hose, and then we'll take it inside and we're ready to start painting. Okay, here we go. Rust sealer. Here's the part number. Let me turn that around for you where you can see it. Part number for that. So this takes 2 thin coats. We've got our first coat on. Got some red plugs in where the threads are, because you don't want to paint them threads. This is some tough stuff. So takes a little time. We got it inside where the humidity is controlled with the AC. We got it 77 degrees in here. Perfect working temperature, I think. My wife thinks it's a little hot in here yet, but she's just going to have to work through it. So here we go with the first coat. Second coat's going to look just like this. Okay, as you can see, I've got the first coat on many of the parts. So I don't know, we got about almost 3 hours of painting so far. So all I know is that's the first coat, and the second coat looked just like it. And then we'll put the black top coat, UV protectant, on everything. All right, so now that all the painting is done, let's go ahead and let's do some final assembly on this. This is one of them things where it takes a little bit of time. I fast forwarded through a bunch of this so you don't have to sit around and watch a little slow motion work. You just want to make sure you get all the bolts torqued like they're supposed to. Make sure all your lines are tight. If not, the minute you go to set the brake or bleed the brakes, you're going to have problems. Ask me how I know that. It's not my first rodeo. But there's always that one brake fitting you forget to tighten up, and then you go to bleed the brakes and you find it. So it's just part of building a hot rod. So, we're going to fast forward this, and we're going to talk about the brakes for a second. Or not the brakes, but the front spring, and how we assemble that, and why we did it the way we did. All right, so I wanted to talk about the front spring for a minute. As you can see, it is a one spring that is taken apart. And the reason why I took this apart, it goes together fairly simple. These are known as, if I can hold on to them, squealer pads. They just pop in there, and what that does is gives it a smooth surface to run up and down on. That way it's not metal to metal and start squeaking. So anti-squeak pads, squealer pads, whatever you want to call them. The other reason, or the main reason why I took this apart before I painted it, is I've seen a lot of them that they'll paint them and then water will get in the middle of these because it does, especially if you drive it in the rain, and it'll eventually rust, and you'll have a really nice looking spring with streaks of rust coming down there. So what I like to do is I like to take them apart. That way they can be sandblasted, and you've got a good surface for the paint to stick to. And then when it's together, you don't have any problems or worries about, hey, is it going to rust in 5 or 6 years and start looking like crap. So like I said, they're easy to do. I don't know why more home shop builders don't do it, but for whatever reason they don't. So, and then it's just held together. This is your locating pin that goes up into the spring, top of the spring. This is the only tricky part right here. Now I'll go ahead and get a half inch and tighten that up. Show you how easy it goes together. All right, here we go. Just a 1/2 inch ratchet. Tighten that baby up. And there we go. Wipe the dust off of there. That's one thing about this paint. It does, it's like static electricity. It is collecting the dust. Of course, my shop's a little dusty right now, but there you go. It's pretty simple, straightforward. You got your anti-squeaker device in each one, and now this is ready to put in. All right, now that we got that front spring put back together, let's go ahead and install this on the chassis here. One thing I want to make sure that I always do is torque them bolts like you're supposed to. Every bolt's got a different torque setting or torque spec on there, so make sure you get that right. And when you go to put the axle together, any machine surfaces, make sure you got the paint off of that, so that all the parts slide in good. You can see I'm doing a little pre-paint cleaning there. And then on the radius rods, you'll see I put a little anti-seize on them, or anti-seize rather. Can't talk right now. So put a little anti-seize on them so that, it's always freed up. You can do your adjustments if need to. Take plenty of measurements on there when you go to put it on. It can be tricky sometimes, but take your time. Sometimes you need a little dead blow hammer to get things put together. But whatever it takes, it takes. So I'd like to take this time to thank everybody for watching this. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'd mean a lot. I think I'm up to 77 subscribers now, which is a pretty big thing for me. So never did want to learn computers because they're a fad, and here I am. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you would. That would mean a lot. So we'll catch you on the next build. Thanks for watching.